On behalf of our athletic director, Mr. John Cathcart, and our principal, Mr. Edward Kurowski, we'd like to welcome you to Metuchen High School, where sportsmanship is an expectation. So please, let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive. Tonight the Bulldogs will be hosting the Tigers from Timothy Christian School in Piscataway. Tonight is also youth basketball night. Metuchen would like to welcome Metuchen youth basketball to tonight's game. And now a message from the NJSIAA.
Today's contest is being conducted according to the rules of the New Jersey State High School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated, could subject the violator to ejection, and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this competition at a high level of good sportsmanship.
Now, before we get to the starting lineups, would you please stand for the playing of our national anthem?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush and Jared Popek calling this one. Should be a fun one as Metuchen is facing Timothy Christian for the second time this season. Metuchen got the best of Timothy Christian earlier this year in 2023 on the 3rd of January, where they won that one on the road by a sizable amount. This time, looking to continue some of that, facing off against a challenging Tigers team. Gotten a lot better since they last met. The first shot was just a little too much. Rebounded and still in possession of the Tigers. Jared, what are you expecting to see in a game like this? Two pretty evenly matched teams in a must-win for each of them.
This is a really even matchup here today. We got great matchups in terms of size here with Danny Kuhn starting instead of Ben Santis. And I want to see their defense really improve from last game.
Shucked up, it didn't go. Here's Galligan looking for a bounce back offensive game, and he misses the three. Rebounded, now Malamug puts it up. It falls short. The ball might have went out of bounds. It was saved before it did, and it's taken away for Timothy Christian. Three-pointer on its way off the backboard, coming in, charging, and the points are laid in. Dylan Spivey with a rebound and points, and Timothy Christian's up. Crowded at half line. It was a travel, I think, by Galligan. Jared, we've got a long one to go. What does Metuchen have to do, to sort of bounce back from a little bit of a skid here in the middle of the season?
I think they have to start elevating their offense, really. I think they have to start setting pick and rolls and start simple. Start with the simple layups. Start with the jump shots. No threes to start, and start building your points before you can really get fancy.
Well, saved there as Metuchen's going to get the ball on the offensive side. Galligan's had the ball much of this one. He tries to go to the other Danny. That was Danny Kuhn. He can't receive it, and it's taken back the other way. Timothy Christian with the ball. We'll talk more about the team itself and what they've done this season a little bit later, but for now, they're on the offensive side of the ball, and it's Dickerson who moves outside. Now a three-pointer. It's up, and it's good. A three-pointer nailed. That's Jet Phillips with a three, and the visitors are up 5-0. Galligan kicks to Kuhn. Kuhn in the corner. Now it's Cone. Chucks up the three just off the rim. It bounced off the rim and then the backboard. Now Kuhn moving inside. He's got his first start of the year, and he's got his first points as a starter. It's 5-2. Nice job there by Kuhn getting the rebound. Kind of a similar fashion as the points earlier for Timothy Christian. Now they get their own points. It's 7-2.
And that's a great job by Danny Kuhn there, keeping it simple, getting off the offensive glass and putting it right up for a jumper.
Metuchen's offense a little slower than usual. They're going at a slower pace. Maybe it's because they're playing against a pretty good defense. They have to kind of make some adjustments, but there was a foul on the way to the hoop. I think it's going to be 2 shots for Dickerson. In fact, it is 2 shots for Miles Dickerson from the line. First one, no luck there. He'll shoot his second. Now in comes Ben Santis. Out comes the sophomore Danny Galligan. He'll get his rest here. Just under 3 minutes into game time. First shot missed. Second shot was good. He splits the pack from the free throw line. It's 8-2. They lead by 6 here with 5:19 to go here in the first quarter. Metuchen on the ball. Here's Santis, fresh off the bench. Jared, why do you think Ben started on the bench? He had a good game last game, and he's been good all season. Is there anything that Cardell's maybe just trying to mix up or something?
I think Cardell is trying to spark something in this offense, and Danny Kuhn has certainly been great off the bench so far, and Ben Santis has truly contributed. So I think putting him in earlier in the game might get a spark going between the two.
Right, it's not an anti-Ben thing. It's, I think, more of a pro-Danny thing because of the fact that when Ben came in, he didn't take out Danny, So I think they just want to see more of Danny Kuhn out there, which is good to see, especially because he'll have a full year next year to be playing with his friend Ben. So we'll see how they do next year. And you want to always have young talent starting, on your team. Try to develop them into the players you want them to be for next year. I know it's, focusing on this season, but you always want to be looking ahead. Doesn't hurt. There's a foul against Metuchen. Staying in the zone for the Tigers. First foul for Kuhn.
And we saw this sort of slow start against JP Stevens as well. They're starting slow, they're getting their defense settled, and then once they settle into the game, the points will start coming.
3-point chance, it's up and it's off the wall, bricked. Now a rebound, lost it was Santos, he was on it, ended up going to Fleming. Now a jump shot from just outside of the charity stripe. Cone ends up with the ball and takes it past his own line for offense. Almost a steal there by Fleming. Now a 3-point chance for Kuhn. He decides to keep it moving inside. He was fouled on the way to the hoop, and that's 2 shots. Nice job there by Kuhn to draw the foul. He'll take 2. Kuhn's first shot goes in. The foul on Miles Dickerson, his first of the game. Cameraman got that shot as he got both 2 in. Nice job there by Zach Vismano to take that one. 8-4. Metuchen trails in this one. 2 consecutive points for them, though. Offense now, it's Dickerson. Watch him outside. He could take that shot. There's a wide open Dickerson close to us. A 3-point instead taken by his friend Phillips. Phillips can't get it to go. Rebounded by Cone. They haven't gotten past the line yet. Kuhn, Cone, Santos, Malamug. Good job, Bulldogs. It's 8-6. Nice play. Well, they are used to this. Timothy Christian has been in plenty of close games in the last week or so. They lost by 1 point to South River. They lost by 3 points the game before that. A 3-pointer. Phillips has it to go, and that's a big one. Excuse me, that was Fleming who tossed it, and it's 11-6. That was a great shot by Fleming. Santos is guarded by Dickerson. Dickerson, the big name on this team. In the corner, Kuhn for 3, chucks it up, and he's got it. Nice job by Danny Kuhn, and Metuchen gets a 3 of their own.
Danny Kuhn certainly proving his point here that he should be in the starting lineup, already with a couple points today and very well contributing to this offense.
There's Jalen Fleming. Fleming saying I could do it too as he chucks up a 3. 3 consecutive 3-pointers in a row between the two teams. Malamug misses the layup. He was fouled, or excuse me, he fouled. Got involved a little bit there with Brandon Johnson. I want to note something. There's a very small roster that makes up Timothy Christian. So maybe less subs, maybe less subbing to do. Definitely something I just want to note compared to Metuchen. Metuchen has 4 more players on tap. Something you start to look at later on in the game, of course, but definitely something you might want to note because maybe, there's, not everyone's going to play always for Metuchen, but they have more depth, more room to move people in. A 3 from the other corner is rebounded by Kuhn. That was a missed shot, number 3 from outside the arc. They're taking a lot of shots for Timothy Christian. It's not like none of them are going in. I'd say about under half have. Here's a move underneath to Ben Galeota, and he's seeing his first minutes of the day. Lots of subbing for Metuchen. They've seen a lot of new faces off the bench really early on in this game. Is that a strategy of Cardillo's?
I think it is, and I think the subbing a lot will help the offense sort of get going as more of the young players will get in and more of the bench guys will start to contribute to this offense. And then once you get your bench going, you can get your starters behind them and really build a lead.
What a play there by Captain Cody Cardillo driving inside. He's not one with speed, but man, was that speedy. He took it to the hoop and just had a simple layup as he got the points to go. Trailing by 3. Metuchen in their first good game at this point. All year, really. They've either been crushing or getting crushed, it feels like, even at this point in the game, which is pretty fun to call these games. And it was a travel, I think, on Dickerson. A double dribble. Metuchen's ball. That's huge for them. Now they have a chance to get as many points as a tie on this drive. This is big here as Cone takes it across the timeline. Cone looks to Cardillo. Cardillo bounce pass. Santos could shoot. He does. No. The leading team scorer can't make it fall there. Under 2 minutes of play in the first quarter. There have not been timeouts used at this point. Santos gets the steal. Kuhn gets it. Now takes it across the logo. Here comes Danny Kuhn. He's quick. Dish back to Cardillo. He'll rather use his height and weight. Kuhn lost the ball on the way to the hoop, and now it's going back to Timothy Christian. The Tigers will rest at a timeout called. Let's take a look at Timothy Christian as a team right now. Sorry. Well, we are having some difficulties right now technically, but we'll show you that. Actually right now. Timothy Christian, you know, I know their record might not say they're great, right? If you look at the standings, I mean, they're 6-9. They're maybe not having the best season statistically, but their last 2 games, I know they're on a losing streak. We'll get back to it in a little bit. They've lost 2 games by 1 possession, 59-56 and 76-75. So I would not say that this team is a pushover. They're definitely a team that is tough to handle, and they're a little hot. Like, let's note that South River game. What does that mean for a team like this, Timothy Christian, to go, I know they're home, but to play South River, a team that obviously we got to see firsthand as such an incredible team, and, you know, just lose by just 1 point. What does that say about this team and how they're going to play Metuchen tonight?
And even though they lost in that game, it really shows that they have the skill to compete with these big schools. And Metuchen being a Group 2 school is sort of hard to compete sometimes in these bigger divisions in the GMC.
That's 100% right. There was a foul, so Metuchen's ball. Yeah, so the standings right now show that Carteret kind of a pushover team, which gives you a little bit mixed signs. You know, they just beat Carteret by 3, but they also lost to Spotswood. I'm sorry, they lost to Carteret by 3, but then they lose to South River by 1. So definitely a little bit of an inconsistent team, but they're going to play Metuchen hard tonight. You better believe it. Galligan is triple covered. Sorry, that was Galeota. Cone with nice offense to draw 2 fakes, and it's going out of bounds, and it's going to be Tigers ball with 1:18 to go here in the first quarter.
And losing to both Carteret and South River back-to-back sort of shows that maybe having a small roster is hurting them here. It mostly depends on whether the starters can play that day and whether they really show up.
Lots of 3 chances. None of them ended up even getting attempted. Thomas Cassani kicked the ball. Kickball violation, 1:05 to go in the first quarter. Well, there's no clear height advantage. We know in South River there was a clear height advantage. In J.P. Stevens there's a clear height advantage. No clear height advantage in this one. So that's out of the equation. Metuchen's going to try to use their height even. There's Santos who lays it in off the glass. That's a great job by Ben Santos. The steal and 2 free points for them, and they cut within 1 point.
It feels like Ben Santos and Danny Kuhn are sort of competing for this last roster spot here, as they are both contributing on the offensive glass, certainly.
They're playing great right now, each of them. And they've been dominating this first quarter. As Cassani's in there. I feel like we've seen a little bit of everybody, and we actually, I know I said it, we've seen a lot. We've seen, the 5 out there right now, as well as 3 bench players currently. So we've seen 8 players in less than 8 minutes. So, very interesting. And it's working. I mean, they're playing a tough team, and they're trailing by 2. And they're playing good basketball, better than even the scoreboard reflects. And I want to say one more thing about the standings. So Metuchen currently in a very interesting situation. They have played 1 more game than Timothy Christian, and as a result have 1 more win than Timothy Christian. So this game means so much. It's a battle for that spot. Whoever wins this one is in front of the other. Fakes the 3. Santos gets an easier look inside, but he can't get it to go. Overshot it. Maybe would have gone in from 3-point range with 20 seconds left. They're trailing by 3. Timothy Christian on the ball, up by 3. Fouled on the way to the hoop. Cassani insists he didn't do anything, but a nice acting a little bit there, as he'll have 2 shots. I think he was fouled on the way to the hoop. No, it was beforehand. Yeah, the acting came after the foul, I guess. So maybe there was a little bit of acting there. Phillips inbounds after being fouled. Now from the stripe, a jump shot falls. Will make it a 2-possession game to finalize the first quarter. Or will it? Maybe a 1 more chance. 4 seconds. Galeota, jumper over a man. No, it doesn't fall. 5-point trailing at the end of the first quarter. It's been a good one. What do you want to see Metuchen change for the rest of this one if they want to come back?
I think they're going to stick to the fundamentals here in the second quarter, and I think that they're going to establish their offensive game a little more than they have. Certainly looked better than they have starting in recent games.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this team with Christian is they like to shoot the ball. And Metuchen does not guard well against shooters. We saw that with South River especially to a high extreme. We've seen that. You know, we saw that with J.P. Stevens to an extent last game. We saw that earlier on in the year with Middlesex. It's been very apparent, and they play better with big man ball, even though they're not a big team, which is something I've been saying a little bit of all year. So it'll be interesting to see how they play the rest of this one, how they guard the shot, which I'm mostly concerned for Metuchen, guarding the shot and the chances that come with it. So 18-13, second quarter about to pick up. Yeah, so if you have to pick one X factor out there for Timothy Christian, would you go Dickerson? Because right now I've been seeing a lot of good stuff from Jet Phillips.
I certainly have been seeing some good stuff from Jet Phillips. Great in the turnovers and great on the three-point arc. And I think that Metuchen can sort of actually use their height in this one. They have some sort of height against this team, and they can get the rebound and contribute to turnovers, which can definitely get their offense going.
They have to get the offense going more. I know 13 points is still a good amount for the first quarter at least, but they want to turn it up because they're at a 5-point disadvantage now with 3 quarters left to play in a must-win game, and I mean a must-win game if they want to be able to hold their spot at 4th place right now in the GMC Blue. 3-point chance, it's up, it's in. What a play, what a shot there. That was Spivey, who added his first 3 of the day. Metuchen now on it. Galligan back in the game for the first time in a little bit. Interesting roster out there. Only 2 starters from the beginning of the game. I think it was last touched off of Christian. Yeah, it was. Okay, so it's going to stick with Metuchen with 7:21. Now Kuhn inbounds. He's got tall options. Look at Ben Santos under the hoop. To bounce pass to Galligan. Santos, Galligan, he didn't want to take the shot. He was too smothered. In comes Santos. He's fouled. 2 shots for Santos. Chance to cut him within 2 possessions if you hit both of these. Santos been reliable from the line this year. A lot better than last year even from the line. I talked about Santos more last year at the end of the season. I was kind of highlighting him as a guy that I really wanted to see break out this year. Do you think he's fulfilled the role that I guess James Cardillo wanted to sort of develop him into for this year and next year and really years to come?
I think he certainly has, and I think he definitely has the room to improve even more going into his senior year, as he still has about 1.5 seasons left to play. And contributing on the glass is obviously very important, contributing to getting fouls, contributing to getting points and rebounds. And as he leads the team in rebounds, it's interesting to see where he's going to go from here.
Right, offensive and defensive. He's been pretty much just a specimen out there for Metuchen. Definitely one of the most valuable players for Metuchen. He swatted it out, and he wanted it to go his way. That was gonna stay though with the Tigers. Under 7 left. Almost a minute into the second quarter. It's 21-15. Oh, the ball was lost. I think there might have been a foul by a few people in there. It was kind of a interesting scrum there. Both number 13s on the team. It feels like every game Marcus Malama gets up on the floor, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Well, he's a physical guy, but he's under the hoop lots of the plays, going against like some really tall players. So I guess, I don't know, it's a little bit of that, but
it certainly contributes to the grit he has as a player.
Yeah.
Willing to fight for the ball on every possession.
Even if it means seeing the lights for a little bit. It'll be Metuchen's ball offensively with 6:42. Haven't seen Gudrafi yet. I really like Gudrafi as a player and a kind of a 6th man for Metuchen. Haven't seen him though yet in this one. He shoots 3s, man. He could sneak up on you. Here's Kuhn for three. Speaking of the three, that was off, but rebounded by Cassani. Maybe too slow with his option, but he got the points to go. Wow, nice job by Thomas Cassani, and he lays it in. It's a 4-point game.
And Metuchen's certainly working here to decrease their deficit, and I think they can certainly show their effort here on defense as a foul on Malamug.
Yeah. That might have been his second. It was his second. Oh, sorry. No, that's a foul on. Was it Malamug? Yeah, they're going to say Malamug, his first of the game. Metuchen approaching that bonus territory. They stayed out of the foul game last game, but this game a little bit in a struggle here with 6 fouls. They're 1 away from the 1-and-1 bonus. A jump shot from deep, and he's got it. That's only 2, I think. It is. 23-17. 2 points to go. Nice jumper, though, by Dickerson. Now across. Cardillo displaying options. Forces it into a unopened lane. Which way is it going to go? It's going on the way of the Tigers. Man, that was a drive you want to get your points on, and maybe Cardillo passed prematurely, but I think it was more of a nice play defensively than a poor play offensively. Many open men on the other side. Bouncer, jumper off the glass. The hook, it looked like more of a hook shot, which didn't fall in for Fleming. He only has 2 points in this one, but it's been good rebounding especially. Here's Kuhn across the line. He lost track of it and travel. Man, that stinks for Metuchen. You really want to capitalize on those drives. And I always said that last game. Do you think Metuchen, even to a higher extent in this one, because it's so winnable, has to capitalize on their drives like these?
They certainly do, and I think they have to contribute on the defensive side as well, getting those turnovers, and those turnovers turn into offense, which, as all the football players say, defense wins championships. So let's see how Cardillo organizes his defense here.
Wow, fouls have been a major problem. It will be 1-and-1 shot from the line. That was foul number 7.
And the fans are letting the refs hear it here.
Yeah, they're not liking that call. Phillips will shoot 1 or 2. Out comes Santos. Going back in. The team plays differently when Max Cohn's out there, don't you think? Like, I feel like the whole dynamic of the offense changes. He's quick, so he adds some speed to the offense. I feel like everything sort of changes when Cohn's out there as a senior leader and point guard for Metuchen.
You certainly do, and anytime you don't have your captain on the court, it sort of feels like you're missing him.
Right.
And he has truly been a leader for this team this year and been sort of the glue on the offensive side.
Well, there he is. He'll be part of a play which gets the ball to Galligan, and Metuchen struggling with this press defense, which they have all year, but they end up getting it through. Kuhn may have prematurely drove in. He lost his shoe in the process. Throws it to the bench. You don't want to injure yourself. Careful here, because some injuries, I know it sounds crazy, come through just one shoe in basketball. It's slippery out there, and if your ankle turns the wrong way, that's bad. A timeout used by Coach Cardillo, or maybe it's an official timeout by a ref. It is. They just want to take a little stop so that Kuhn can get his shoe on and avoid an injury.
And anytime you think of losing your shoe, you think of that Zion Williamson.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Zion. Well, he literally busted right through his shoe. Pause. But he did. That was. Do you remember that? His whole entire foot came through his shoe. This is professional. If you don't know who Zion is, but I mean, his foot came through his shoe, and his injury was pretty bad that came with it. I think that was when he was back at Duke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was incredible at those days. So.
And Metuchen getting a call their way here.
Yeah. It'll be inbounded by, or I thought it would be inbounded by Cohn. It will be. Got to put points on the board here. You're down by 8. Try to cut into this lead if you can. Cohn looking at all the white shirts. He ends up getting it to Galligan, who just slid it back to to their side of the half, which creates a backcourt violation. Wow, check out this. It's Matt Smith coming in. And out comes Galligan, who's had a tough day.
Cardillo truly believes in Matt Smith being a freshman. He obviously has a lot of time left to play, and I think he certainly brings something to the floor here, which Cardillo likes.
Yeah, 100%. Here's a jumper. Oh, my God. The switch a little bit untimely there. Here comes Kuhn. I feel like we keep seeing this. Kuhn maybe going to be next year's Max. Kind of adds that speed to the team. You see Max take a similar shot. That one doesn't fall either. Very similar on that drive, too, with 4:15 to go.
And I thought I saw this versus J.P. Stevens, too. Playing very well, but just not getting the bounces your way.
That was a great play. Take it down the alleyway and lay it in off the glass. And it's going to be a stoppage. Each team goes and talks it over. It's a 10-point game right now, 4:05 to go. What are you telling your team right now if you're head coach James Cardillo?
I think you're going to try and establish your defense a little more. Giving up 27 points in about 12 minutes of play here. I want to see the turnovers. I want to see the steals and the blocks contribute to more of your offense, and then you'll really get going.
Yeah, they definitely have to start to get going. We'll step aside for now. Bulldog Report, Ike Bush and Jared Popek. We'll see you in just a second. Everybody, we're back here from the Bulldog Report. 4:05 to go here in the second quarter in the first half. And Metuchen trailing by 10. They want to try to cut into this lead if they can. They have the ball. It's time to put points on the board. That's Smith with it. He's got speed. He takes it up the wing, dishes or tries to dish to Malamug. It was kind of a bit of a rookie pass, and he lost it, and it's going the Tigers' way. Tigers with the ball now. Oh, he just trucked right through Malamug, and Malamug again seeing lights. That's an offensive foul. That was charging, I think. I know, by Fleming, who, that was a pretty serious foul. He really went into it. Maybe part of it was some acting, though. Good acting from Malamug.
And Marcus Malamug certainly putting his body on the line for the team. Good to see in a senior playing here. And truly contributing on both sides of the floor so far.
Yeah, he's good. Here comes Kuhn off the glass. Nice job by Danny Kuhn. He's been great all day. Definitely his best game, at least that we've seen him play here in the Bulldog Report stream. But he's been good. He's been real good. Since Metuchen, since we streamed the last Metuchen game for the boys, they have gone 1-1, both road games, obviously. The game they played that next day, which was Saturday, they lost, and then they won their next one right after that. Stolen in honor of the Tigers. They'll take it now. It's an 8-point game, so Metuchen got the points they need to kind of jump out of that, I don't know, bit of a funk they were in entering the second quarter. But right now, they have a bit of a struggle here trying to find points. Maybe I'm going to jinx it, though. Here comes Kuhn.
You'd love the commentator's curse to work your way.
Oh, 2 shots, so Malamug will determine whether the commentator's curse works here, as he'll shoot. I wonder if you guys can hear it. There's some music playing next door. So if you hear music, it's not because Chris DeVizio, our producer, has bad taste in music, which he does, by the way. But it's because the jazz club, I think, is meeting today. Not that it's bad taste. It's actually very impressive. I think there's a concert going on in the auditorium or something like that. First shot doesn't go. There's what is it? It's the Edgar concert. So come check that out. I think it started already, so maybe you're a little too late. He splits the pair at the charity stripe, and there will be a timeout called from the floor by Timothy Christian. So, Metuchen looking ahead. They have some pretty tough games coming up. They have this is the stretch a little bit. We're kind of coming across the middle half of the season. Metuchen's got some serious games coming up. If they want to kind of make it to the next stage, I'm not sure that they're going to necessarily make the playoffs. They're going to have to go into the GMC tournament, which is going to be very fun to watch. I can't wait for that, but last year they had a very tough matchup in the first round. Who was it? Oh, Rumson Fairhaven last year that they played. It was on the road, and I'm pretty sure they lost by 40-something points, and that was with guys like Dom and stuff. So this year, I think they're having statistically a very similar season, but their goal is to end up playing a later competition. As for Timothy Christian, home against Spotswood, and then on the road for JP Stevens. That one should be a fun one to watch. We'll get the updates on that and then tell you about that next time Metuchen plays JP Stevens. With 2:45 to go here in the second quarter, it's a 7-point game after 1-1 from the line. Charging offensive foul, and look at it. It's Marcus Malamug down on the ground. His brother Lucas told me that he's the guy that's always on the floor, and I kind of drew attention to it. So, Marcus, if you're watching this and you're embarrassed, blame your brother Lucas. Here's Kuhn. Kuhn, a little bouncer to Matt Smith. Smith gonna use his speed, not always the smart move. Smith looks a little rattled with the ball with press, but he gets it across. His speed is his advantage. Nice pass to Cardillo, wasn't necessarily ready. It was swatted last time off of Phillips, and it's Metuchen's inbound.
And it's no dig to Metuchen's character here, certainly, but it's just tough to compete against these bigger schools, these Group 3, 4, 5 schools.
But they're good at just kind of just scratching their way into games, and it's interesting because, yeah, they don't have the height here, but they're able to kind of stick with them. I think I get the same vibe from Timothy Christian, and I know they're kind of a bigger school, but they were able to stick in a game with South River, and that says a lot about your team. I know, losing by 1, it's one thing if you lose by 10. Metuchen lost by 35 points against South River, and that was after they put their foot off of the metal. They were kind of, their foot was on the brake really for a long time in the fourth quarter, and they still won by a sizable amount. Metuchen wasn't really able to stick with them from the start, but Timothy Christian was the entirety of the game. They started to come back at the end, and they only lost by 1. So that says a lot about the team and the size of the school. They kind of claw their ways through games also, which I appreciate about this team. Pass over to Johnson. Johnson for his first points, and he's got it. Nice shot by Johnson from the corner of the free throw line, and he'll get it to a 9-point lead. Cohn uses his speed to try to cut the lead to 7. It doesn't work. It was a little off. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by a Bulldog with 2:02 in the first half. Phillips. Pass to Fleming. Here's the big man, Johnson, up, and a foul. I think it was on Galliota. Two shots coming. It's the Metuchen blackout night tonight, which was not brought to my attention, but it is the blackout night right now. I guess you could say there's some black in the stands. Fans are pretty excited.
Certainly. as this one falls here
That was a
for
nice shot.
Fleming.
So looking around Metuchen sports right now, the girls soccer team, Alex, Michaela, Charlotte, Cassidy, Caitlin, and Sarah, and Metuchen alumni, Kristen Edmonds, are all-state recognition of 2022 at the Pines Manor. So they're getting recognized all-state. That's pretty awesome. Just kind of Metuchen athletics awareness. Good job, girls. They had a great season, the soccer team, this year.
And it's huge for 6 of their starting 11 players to be all-state. That truly shows. That's a testament to their character.
Yeah, they're going to be good next year, too, because I know some of those players I just listed were seniors, actually a good amount, but they've got some young talent, too. So I know it's not till the fall, but girls soccer, definitely something you want to keep an eye on here at Metuchen. It's always been good, too.
And 2 of those were sophomores, which getting all-state as a sophomore is huge, especially having 2 years left to play.
And last year, with Marin Boucher, and the team was just deadly. First shot doesn't go from the line by Fleming. He'll shoot a second. Metuchen has 10 fouls, and it's not even the end of the first half. Fleming splits the pack from the line. Cone. Little bouncer now, Metuchen on offense. Now it's a double-digit lead for the Tigers for the first time since just a few minutes in. Cone with a jump shot. Does it fall? Nice rebound. Oh, it's Galeota who's really getting in there. He puts it in. Great job by Galeota, using his strength to kind of push Fleming, who's not the biggest guy. And he puts the points on the board that he needed, and his team certainly needed. Was it charging? It wasn't. I thought maybe that could have been charging on Phillips, who's been kind of involved with Metuchen physically a lot here in this one. He'll take 2 shots.
These defensive fouls are proving killer here for Metuchen. They're starting to sort of fall out on defense and take these chippy fouls that are contributing to their deficit.
That was a foul on Galeota, his second in this one, and the first free throw goes in. It's a 10-point lead. There's a big shot here. Try to get both and some momentum to end the half. He gets both. Good job by Phillips. And they get those points right back. Cone. Little bouncer, Matt Smith. Try to slow this pace down if you're Metuchen. Make sure you get points. Wide open man is Cassani off the left side. And he can't get it to go. Overshot it off the glass. He did not pass the Hogerby vibe. Rebounded. And the points are up. It doesn't go. That's a really valuable asset for Christian. And that's Johnson, who's he's the tallest man out there on the court, number 11. He's the closest guy to us. He's been valuable, and he wasn't even that starting lineup, but Johnson is one of the better players on this team when he's been out there. I think he's kind of dominated a lot of Metuchen. Is there an injury timeout for Thomas Cassani? We'll step aside. 26 seconds to go in the first half. You're watching the Bulldog Report. All right, we're returning to action. Thomas Cassani hit his head. He appears to be okay, as he's now sitting on the bench for Metuchen. That's a good sight. That's a good sight. Or is he in the trainer's office? Or is he on the bench and in the trainer's office, per se? Because the trainer is curing him on the bench. Wow. Invention. There's a floater to their big man Phillips, who lost it with 17 seconds to go. Metuchen across the line. Ooh, Smith, the pass got smacked down. Now it's Phillips' chance to put it in. He does. Nice job. Excuse me, Fleming gets the points. 3 seconds to go. Do they have a shot in them? With one, no shot. And that's it. Not a good way to end the half if you're Metuchen. Oh, that guy just got left hanging. Tried to high-five Johnson. Metuchen trailing by 13. They scored 22 points. Their offense was not passing the vibe check in the first half. What do they do to fix things?
Well, last game against JP Stevens, they went out with all the momentum. It appears that Timothy Christian has the momentum here. I want to see their defense build again. I want to see them start to build turnovers and start to turn it over on the offensive glass into points.
Well, we'll be back in a little bit. Metuchen trailing by 13 when we come back. You're watching the Bulldog Report. We'll turn the cameras on in the gym right now. It's youth basketball night. I'm not going to announce this one. Maybe I will, actually. I don't have any rosters. There's the big man 31 with a nice pass. That's all I'll say. We'll be back in 8 minutes. Enjoy watching some kids play basketball. Not in a weird way. 7:45 to go until second half. second half, actually not the second half, halftime play, and you're watching the kids play basketball right now with 5 minutes to go. I'm in the booth right now, joined by Aaron Honig, the senior.
Yes,
and
sir.
Big fan of Metuchen Athletics. Here he is. It's Aaron Honig. Aaron, anything to say to the crew?
Big fan. Big fan. 5-star recruit. Already committed to Ohio State for
He
basketball.
once looked like this, by the way, out on the court. He was once a kid playing basketball at halftime, and now he's going D1 to UNC.
Ohio State, yeah, D1,
Oh, yeah,
5-star recruit. Coach has already got a starting spot locked up for me.
Man,
oh, look at this kid going to the post.
I'm not sure that's a kid.
That's a man.
It's stolen. Wait, is this white team, blue team? Where's the black team
Miss
kind of get
Abbott-
involved
Miss Abbott
here?
breaking up the fun.
Are we calling? Did we just call 10 seconds? That stinks. We'll be back, by the way, second half. Shout out. We just reached 500 subscribers here on the Bulldog Report.
What?
Aaron, anything to say about the Bulldog Report?
Oh, it's great. Well run, very professional. I enjoy hearing your voice, not in a weird way. And yeah, it's great, high quality streams. So.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll get you on at some point, at some other points in the stream, maybe at the rest of this year. And tomorrow, I'll see you in Gov. That's it.
Oh yeah.
See you second half, everyone. We'll be back in a sec. Second half underway. It's a 13-point game. We just saw the better game of basketball at halftime. That was pretty awesome. I was in big favor of the blue team, and they were kind of dominating. That one kid was crossing everyone up. 13-point lead for Timothy Christian. The Tigers looking to break their 2-game skid right now. And Metuchen in a must-win game looking to kind of get back on the right track after starting strong, and they've been in a little bit of a skid lately as well. So Metuchen on the ball with under 8 minutes to go. Got to try to chip into this lead now. This is the largest deficit of the day. Here's Cone. Little bouncer to Kuhn. Kuhn charges in, puts it up. It's short and rebounded by Fleming, who's been the main player so far for the Tigers, kind of been the X factor that they've needed and has been really great for the Tigers in general. How does Metuchen focus on guarding him? Because frankly, it's been really one-sided every time Fleming has the ball.
And as we get started here in the second half, I want to see what adjustments Coach Cardillo makes, see if he can get his bench involved, and see if he can get those physical guys back out there to really guard 13.
Little floater up to Johnson. Johnson caught it around the logo. He's guarded by Cardillo, the captain for the Bulldogs. Jumper from long range. It's up. It's off the backboard. Rebounded by Cone. There was, I think, a foul by Cardillo, and I'm not sure that was the right call. They were both getting a little into it, and of course, Fleming's in there. He's been kind of in the middle of everything. There must be, I mean, it's amazing to know, like, there's always something going on down there that we don't know. But there could very well be something going on between Fleming and all of Metuchen, because it feels like after every play there's a little bit of pushing or shoving or extra pushing while the game is going on. So who knows? But he's been killing Metuchen, especially late in the second quarter. As you see, up to the hoop goes Dickerson, lays it in. He's been a consistent force for the Tigers all night, offensively and defensively, and he extends their lead to 15.
And Metuchen's playing well. It's just these fouls that are really killer. Getting the points off the glass, and maybe a foul there on Cardillo. That
Yeah, I
wasn't
thought
called.
that might have almost been a foul, but ooh, there's a name we haven't heard in a while. That was Jet Phillips to pass outside. Ooh, a shot that doesn't go. Nice rebound by Malamug. He dashes one to his man, Galligan. Galligan looking for his first points in a little bit, and he's got him. Good job by Danny Galligan and Marcus Malamug to grab the rebound. I think that a lot of that was Malamug's doing. A nice find there after scooping the rebound and fighting for it. 6.5 to go.
Malamug is really playing great this game on the rebounds and on the turnovers, contributing to this offense.
6:22. Here's Cone. Dish outside. Big three if they could get it. Kuhn puts it up. He's got it. What a shot by Danny Kuhn. And Metuchen cuts the lead to 10. That's 5 unanswered points for the first time today. And Metuchen looking good here out of the second half. Haven't hit a 3 since earlier in this game, and that was a major momentum booster for the Dogs. Shot goes up, and it doesn't go through. Kuhn takes it across the logo. Bounce pass to the physical guy, Malamug, and he's back on the ground. It was a travel, though. I think maybe he fell before the ball came out, which is a travel, and then the ball kind of popped out as he was going down. But who knows? Some of these refs better than others.
You could really call this the Danny Kuhn and Marcus Malamug game. These two have really contributed to most of these points here, and they're contributing on both sides.
That's what I've been saying about Metuchen. They any given night, anyone can sort of contribute in their own way, and because there's no main players that kind of dominate Metuchen. It's all a different person really every night, and that's kind of the beauty of this team and the way that they're built with depth. Here's Cone, little pass to Malamug. Oh, he missed it. That was a nice play by Cone. Oh, it's swatted down by Kuhn. The ball is taken in Metuchen's hands, but again a foul, and Max Cone is fed up. The captain not happy about that. A lot of these calls seem to be going the Tigers' way. And Aaron Honig, the fan that was just on at halftime, if you want to go skip back to about the 20 seconds of calling the halftime kids game. He's not happy. And neither is Max Cone, the captain of this team. Nice steal. Metuchen's offenses look good, but wow, this defense out of the gate is really, really good. They've really allowed no points, and they're playing great. Well, there's a steal now. Defense to offense really quickly, and the points go in. What a play. That was Spivey. His 3rd and 4th points of the game. A steal. Oops. A steal now for Timothy Christian. Did he charge him? I don't think so. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a play by Fleming. Bodying, using his strength to take down Kuhn, and extends the lead to now 14.
And Coach Cardillo might be getting a little frustrated here. Let's see what he switches up in this timeout.
What would you switch up? Because there's a few issues that we've seen really in the last 20 seconds really exposed, that otherwise it's kind of been good from Metuchen in the second half.
Well, Metuchen's mostly been in foul trouble. I want to see Danny Kuhn and Marcus Malamud stay on the floor, but I want to see some more contribution from people like Ben Galeota and Danny Galligan sort of get involved in this game.
Well, again, something to note, Santos wasn't out there to start the second half either, so not sure what that means, and I'm sure he'll be out here after the whistle. I would not be surprised if Santos is in this lineup as soon as they break the huddle. I want to see him, too. I want to see him play to a high level as well, because he's one of their leaders and will probably be their captain next year. And it would be pretty awesome if Metuchen's able to, put some points up on the board through Santos here, because they need that momentum boost. And there you see him, Santos ready to inbound for Metuchen. Try to crawl back into this one, down by 14. This is a crucial drive. Now you got to assert yourself as a team that is saying, hey, we're going to try to bounce back after going down a little bit here in the middle part of this game. Pass to Kuhn.
And we didn't see this too much in the first half, but we really saw it in the second quarter, where Timothy Christian is developing their press defense, especially on the inbounds, and Metuchen's having a hard time with this. We saw this versus J.P. Stevens as well as South River, that when we get trapped in our own zone, it's hard to get into the offensive floor, let alone get some points.
And the thing about Christian's defense is, along with the defense, the press defense, came success. Do you think that has a direct correlation?
I think it does, and I think that when you watch the film of Metuchen and how they have struggled as of recent to get the ball up the court when they're facing press, it sort of inspires the other teams to do the same thing.
I agree. The way that the defense plays against Metuchen's offense really affects their play, and I know that literally makes perfect sense because really defense affects all offenses, but Metuchen feels rattled, especially with some of their younger guys, Matt Smith, Danny Kuhn. Some guys don't do well under that tight pressure. There you see Santos kind of jumping in. There was a foul on him, his second of the night. And I think that Timothy Christian, I was right the first time, was right to kind of see the problem with the Metuchen offense during press and kind of go to it. And I'm sure they just did it for maybe a drive, press defense, and it was working, and everything started to work right afterwards.
And I think their offense has actually been pretty good here. They've just been getting some unlucky bounces, and obviously contributing on the turnovers on defense is important, especially with those fouls.
Danny Kuhn's had a great day, and I know the points have said that, but so have the rebound numbers and everything to come there. Oh, there's that press defense again, rattling Metuchen to the point that, they're going to lose chances, and it could end up losing them the game. Out comes Kuhn, in comes Cone. By the way, Jason Woods is out there for the Bulldogs, number 24. He had some height for Metuchen. He's been probably the best bench guy this year, and I know that, guys like Galeota and Gudrafi have been good off the bench, but I like Woods. I like how Woods has played off the bench. I think he's probably been one of the most valuable pieces for the Bulldogs. It's a 16-point game.
And we haven't seen Gudrafi here yet. Interesting coaching by Coach Cardillo, and I think this is more of a practicing issue than an in-game issue, but we should see Coach Cardillo try to make some adjustments to counter this press defense and get him on the transition.
Kind of blown away by what that fan was just doing. Sorry. Wow. Okay. 3:44, and you see right there, by the way, with the press, Santos was completely rattled, and I really love your point with that. Just there's nothing for Metuchen's offense to do. They're Christian's starting to see it, and they're committing to it, and they're dominating Metuchen in that aspect. Down goes Galeota. I didn't think it was a foul, but they get the call. That was not a. I mean, I wish there was some sort of instant replay that we had, but that was great. A great job by Galeota to fake. Oh, you know what? It was a foul on Galeota for going down. Foul on 1-2. That's interesting. They fouled him. His third foul of the game. Him and Fleming have kind of been getting into it a little bit.
And obviously nothing personal towards the refs here, but they've been pretty one-sided so far. Metuchen only getting 1 or 2 fouls in the first half, and obviously none here. They contributed to, I think, 11 fouls in the first half and 4 here already. So fouls, definitely some trouble here for Metuchen.
Speaking of trouble, there's trouble in the corner. Gets over to Galligan. I get those names mixed up so much. I'm sorry, guys. Here, coming up to the hoop. It's floated up. He was fouled. Wow, fouls have been left and right. 4 for Metuchen out of the half, and now their first for the Tigers. Will send 2 shots to the line for Galliota. This quarter going by pretty quickly. By the way, I'm getting some texts. At halftime, when I said that Aaron Honig committed to Ohio State to play basketball, that is not true. It was part of the satirical element, or the not so satirical, but the effort for some satire in there. But yeah, he's not going to Ohio State. He's actually committed to UChicago, which is really an amazing school. I would take that over Ohio State even as a sports fan. There's a shot by Galliota. The second one goes through. First one didn't. It's a 18-point game. Wow, imagine that this game was once back and forth and one possession consistently, and now it's at the point where it's an 18-point game. It's been a seesaw of emotions right now. Pass to Galligan. Nice underneath pass. Oh, Woods lost it. That was a prime opportunity to drive. Kind of left a lane for him, but he couldn't get it. Oh. What's the call? That's kind of our blind spot. Cameras aren't doing us any justice there.
And Timothy Christian here building their biggest lead of the game. It seems that they are building on their momentum that they left with in the first half. Saw them build a 10-point lead, and now they're up to 18. So let's see how Coach Cardillo can counter this.
So much of basketball is momentum and confidence, and Metuchen seems to be lacking it a little bit here. Here's Cone. Speaking of confidence, he's probably the most confident guy on the team with the ball in his hands. What a play by Cone. He did a little trick in the air there. It's a 16-point game. Now they're starting to cut in. There's 4 consecutive points, but they have to hold their ground defensively, and it's looked pretty, frankly, bad out of the second half. Some new Christian faces out there. Jonathan Walker getting some playing time, the sophomore. He's in the corner nearest to us. Oh, the shot rebounded by Galliota. Pass to Cone. They know Cone knows what to do with the ball. Here comes Galliota. Bounce pass. Now over to Galliota. Galligan to Galliota, and Galliota to the hoop. And it's a 14-point game. Timeout rightfully by Timothy Christian. They need to talk things over.
And we see this a lot with teams trying to stop the other team's momentum, as Metuchen is actually, in the past minute or so, really taken some momentum here, and let's see if they can build on it when Coach Cardillo sends him back out.
We'll step aside for now. It's a 14-point game in favor of the Tigers. You're watching the Bulldog Report. $14-point game. Thanks for the comments, everyone. We read them. Pouncy Burger, thanks for the comment. Go subscribe to Pouncy Burger's Twitch. Pretty sure they stream every night. Some good content on there. I know I watch that once in a while. On the ball here, the Tigers with 1:45 to go in the third quarter. Little floater goes out of bounds. Metuchen's momentum starts to continue. And it'll be the new line for Metuchen. Matt Smith, Max Cone, Danny Kuhn, Ben Galliota, and who am I missing? Jason Woods.
And you got to wonder if that was a drawn-up play by Coach there right out of the timeout, and if the defense by Metuchen there really got him flustered.
I think the defense did, and that was all the defense is doing, as opposed to just a flaw in the offense. It was a good job. Drop back shot by Cone. Nice rebound by Galliota, who's really falling into that big man position with Santos on the bench. It doesn't go through though. A minute to go. I'm interested. Why has Santos not gotten the minutes today? It's kind of been a little bit strange. He hasn't been out there for a little while, and he didn't start, but then he came right back on. And I was like, okay, maybe they're just giving him a little break starting, but it's interesting. I'm not sure why he's gotten the playing time.
And it's something that only Coach Cardillo would know, but we're seeing Metuchen here actually start to pick up these steals and get some offensive rebounds.
I think it was a foul on Christian. No, it was a foul on Metuchen, yeah. It was a kind of a little bit of something between Ben Galeota, again, his 4th foul of the game. Matt Smith guarding Miles Dickerson. Subbed out is Dickerson. Was there some sort of technical? It feels oblivious when we're up here because we can't hear anything or get reports. We should get a sideline reporter. I always thought about that. It would be pretty cool. Maybe Henry could do it, or like on a game like tonight when he's not calling. We could use. It would be pretty cool actually because I mean honestly, we kind of want to know what's going on in the gym. I always wanted to know what's going on with Fleming and Metuchen. There's definitely something going on. I might be wrong, but here's Cone. You're moving in. Oh, a pass out to Malamug. Malamug dishes off the glass. No good. That would have been big points for Metuchen. And it's taken out the other way. 25 seconds. No shot clock. They'll probably live this one out, or if they're smart, they should, with 20 seconds left to play. Ten. Yeah, they're gonna take one more shot. It's up. Ooh, it missed the second one. No good again. Popcorn off the hoop, and none of them go in. 14-point game. Was that a convincing third quarter headed into the fourth?
It certainly was, and they started slow, but they certainly got back. And Metuchen leaving this quarter with the momentum, certainly something you want.
Yeah, and it's the end of the third quarter. Metuchen has to find some sort of like momentum, I guess, in the fourth, but they're going to have to start early. They will have the ball. They're going to have to pick up as soon as they have the ball. They're going to have to put some points on the board. We'll step aside for now. It's the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush and Jared Popek on the call. There we go, 8 minutes to go. I can move the scoreboard around, look at that. I just realized it. Smith loses it, and it's taken away in favor of Christian. See, there's that possession that I said that they really wanted to score on, and they lost it almost immediately. Kind of kills the momentum that they wanted to start up here in the fourth quarter. Johnson. Pass back, Spivey on it. Spivey double guarded, leaves on open. Johnson, who fires away and might have just delivered the game-winning dagger against Metuchen. Kind of puts him in a hole here, now down by 17.
It certainly does put him in a hole, but there's obviously so much time left as we see another steal here from...
What a play by Spivey, keeps it in bounds. And a play by Fleming to put the points on the board. Wow. And the ball out of bounds. What a terrible way to start the quarter. 53 seconds in. Metuchen needs to find themselves here in the fourth quarter, as that was a bit of a struggle out there. points and points, and now a chance for more points for Christian. I don't know if it's a knock on Metuchen or just a, a compliment to Timothy Christian, but one-sided quarter, and right now a one-sided game. Christian with the ball. Johnson, he's been the secret weapon for them. See him. Shoves his way into Santos, misses the layup. Dogs on it. Santos, spin move. Ooh, what a play. Left his defender on his back, but there was a foul offensively on Santos. I don't know what he did there. I'm sure he did. Maybe it was a charge, but he came in hot a little bit. Maybe that was the call.
And another foul here by Ben Santos, which in my opinion isn't really a foul. And obviously Coach Cardillo very frustrated with this, as it's certainly been killer here.
It's his 4th of the game, kind of looking at that number of fouling out, which is 6. So he's kind of approaching that area. Maybe you'll see a sub out in a few minutes, but wow, Fleming scores and celebrates on him. He's been too good tonight, and it's really been since the end of the second quarter. He hasn't been like this all game, but he's emerged as one of their top players to this game. Don't get me wrong, he's been a key part of their season, Christian, but he hasn't been their star player per se. It's more been Dickerson, but it's been all Fleming tonight for the Tigers.
And they've been more spread out.
And leaves Fleming on his heels. He tried to do a little step over. It's a technical foul on Santos. That's his 5th. Oh, wow. Did he step on him?
He did step on him.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. But that is, wow. He just stepped over. He tried to step over him, and then he got a little tangled with Fleming. His 5th foul. The Metuchen fans are not happy. Oh, man.
Nobody from Metuchen should be happy with this one, because Jalen Fleming has been pushing back against Ben Santos. It's not only been a one-sided affair here.
Right, but that's technically personal. Just the fact that he kind of got, went out of his way to go for him. So I guess it's another level when it's not in the game, but the way Fleming's been scoring and celebrating, you see technical shots here. So probably the worst guy to send to the line. He's been pretty accurate from the strike.
And Ben Santos getting sent out of the gym right now. We'll see what that leads to.
No, I think he's just taking a break. He's not fouled out because he has one more, but maybe he's just taking a break. Who knows? I mean, he was pretty heated. Maybe he just needs a little cool off.
Well, let's see what Coach Cardillo does with Ben Santos the rest of the game. Not starting him and not giving him many minutes today. It's hard to tell, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
That's something we'd love to know. If we had a sideline reporter. We just need the technology for it. That was a great play. Cohn has mastered the steal and layup, the 3 points essentially. He's been a major piece for the Bulldogs with his defense and transition to offense through it.
And that's a must to capitalize on those points, especially when you can get them that easy.
Yeah, 100%.
And Max Cohn leading the team in steals has contributed to most of those.
He's moving inside. Now a steal from Matt Smith, his first this game. Cohn off the glass, and he's got it. Sorry, that was Woods that laid it off. This is a good surge for Metuchen with Santos out. They're looking good right now. He cut it to 17 points, Jared.
It certainly has, and I wonder what adjustments Coach Cardillo is going to make here, because they're leaving out of this timeout with momentum. So let's see how they carry that into the last 5.5 minutes of this game.
We'll see you in a few moments. We'll step aside. Ike Bush, Jared Popek here on the Bulldog Report. We're getting picked up here from the fourth quarter, 5:22 to go. Metuchen missing some pieces. Santis out from just a few moments ago. Cassani got injured earlier on in this game.
And Cassani hitting his head earlier after a foul. Let's hope he's okay. The trainer checked him out for a bit. Still on the bench. I'm assuming he's out of the rest of this one, though.
Maybe that has to do with the course of the way the game has gone, but maybe that also has to do with just the situation, because, you know, he's not an everyday player, and he's not like a starter. So maybe, I don't know. There could be many scenarios, but we'll ask after the game and see how he's doing in terms of his health. By the way, Fleming just put 2 more points on the board, but the chance for 3 here. And I'll bet he makes this shot the way he's shot off the line all day.
And let's hope for the best for Tom Cassani. Hopefully come back from this injury and really contribute these next couple games, this big stretch.
Yeah, he's on the bench. He looks to be okay, so that's really a good sign. Santis, by the way, just walked back into the gym. Steele on the move. Here they go. 3 points potentially. Cone swatted away. That's the best you're going to get in terms of a swat from Cone. That was about 3 feet off the ground. Spivey with the steal, potentially 2 points, but Cone said no, no, no. Looked like Jai Dreher versus Coach Albides back in 8th grade. Remember that? Actually, it didn't look like that, but it was pretty nice in its own respect. Johnson.
And that's sort of the free points that you touched on earlier, that Timothy Christian, if they were down, certainly would be upset about capitalizing there. But Max Cone, great job on the defensive floor to pick up that block.
Let's assume that Timothy Christian wins this game. They jump in the standings. They jump Metuchen, so the first one goes. He'll shoot a second now. So Timothy Christian currently 6-9. A win like this puts him at 7-9, and obviously Metuchen down to 7-10. If you do the math, they'll be down to 5th place, and Timothy Christian will be up to 4th place. So obviously a big game, and Timothy Christian, Jared, definitely came to play.
They certainly did, and we obviously saw that they contributed in the game versus South River, only losing by 1 against obviously a very big and a very tough school to win against. So a loss there, certainly not something to be embarrassed about. And interesting to see what they did versus Carteret, because they've really come out here, and they've come out in the South River game. As Timothy Christian will inbound here.
Ooh, up to their big man Fleming. Toilet bowl's no good. Pulled down by Woods. Possession arrow pointed Metuchen's way. What was that? Yeah, Kuhn. I don't know what. I think that was supposed to be a pass, but it hit off the top net. Obviously, that means change of possession. I'm not sure what he was thinking though there. I mean, there was an open man. But that seemed like a kind of a high arc for that pass. I don't know.
I think he was worrying more about the time to get it up the court, because obviously getting an 8-second violation is a ticky-tacky mistake, and you want to get that back up the floor as quick as possible. As here you see
Smith cruising in. Oh, Cardillo as the captain. You want to try to make those shots, but it's turned the other way. I thought he'd maybe be able to put those in. That was a nice drive there. Matt Smith using his speed, by the way, finding an open man, but the points just didn't go on the board. Spinorama there from Dickerson. 3-point Fleming. That doesn't work. Fleming, oh, he gets it and he goes down.
We've seen this all night. The Metuchen guys have something against Fleming. Obviously trying to lock him down, of course, because he's a key, vital part to this offense. And I guess if you shut him down, you shut the offense down.
Do you want to see if this works, the commentators? Just so you know, he hasn't missed a foul shot all night, so maybe the commentator's curse comes up clutch. If it does, it is probably the strongest force right now. Oh, wow. See, not even the commentator's curse can take him out. Or maybe it will of the next shot. Who knows? By the way, out comes Cardillo and Kuhn. In come Danny Galligan and Ben Galeota. Matt Smith, Max Cone, and Jason Woods. First shot fell. Does he have a second in him? He's been 6 for 6 from the line. Second shot, no. Wow. Commentator's curse. Never break it. Never break it. Woods, jumper. Looks a little too much. It is. That went off by a bit. He bricked it. Rebound for Dickerson and the Tigers. Drive in. Shot goes up, rebound, second shot goes up, rebound, and it works after a little bit. All you need is a little bit of Fleming, and Fleming puts up the points on the board again.
Fleming, obviously a tall player here, as a steal and a bucket here from Timothy Christian, but Fleming on the glass has been tough to battle with, obviously on the defensive and the offensive side. Getting those rebounds is very important in this game, and Ben Galeota has actually done the job very well.
There's Galeota. He puts the points on the board. He's been pretty good, like you said. But, you know, there's only so much you can do in a game like this when Fleming's playing so well. Dickerson's ball goes out of bounds. Oh, maybe last touch off a Metuchen player. Cam Darina checked in. Out comes Max Cohn, and now it just looks like they're getting some time for some younger guys.
4 of the 5 people on the floor here, underclassmen. Good to see the young players getting some time, and Cardillo maybe trying to spark something in his bench.
Well, he just sparked a timeout, so we'll step aside for now. 2:24. You're watching the Bulldog Report. We're back. Darina checked the ball into Smith and back to Darina. Smith chucks the 3 up. It's off by a bit. Rebounded by the Tigers, but it's going to stay in this area. Actually, no, it's not. Not going to stay in this area. 2:13 Tigers ball. They're up by 26, their largest lead of the night. Shots at the line, and we've got the first one overshot it.
Timothy Christian generally have been very good so far on the free throw line. Obviously a lot of fouls here by Metuchen, 10 again in the second half, and you do the math, that's about 20-something points just off of foul shots, which is killer.
And last touch by a Bulldog out of bounds, inbounded by the Tigers. We got Prank Sinatra back in the studio, by the way. He's here. He's back. 2 minutes left. If you're new here, you got to get acquainted with the VP of the media club, Chris DeVizio. And the president, by the way, Ben Selaski. He's not here, but he's here in spirit, or he's here literally. Oh, sorry. Some more research being done by Chris DeVizio in a 26-point game. Metuchen probably out of this one. Let's call it over, right? So, okay, now we're looking ahead. You know Metuchen loses this, they've now lost 4 straight. They've lost now 4 straight home games. They're struggling right now. It's been a struggle offensively. It's been not so much a struggle defensively, but tonight there's been a struggle, Jared. Looking ahead, you've got some, no more home games this week, another one on Monday. How do they change things so they can, end the season on the right note?
It's really something to do with practice, and I want Coach Cardillo to sort of work on something that other teams can clearly see in film is, Danny Galligan looked to be hurt there as another 3 falls for Timothy Christian. Let's see if Danny Galligan's okay.
Yeah, that's the main concern right now. Yeah, he'll probably be coming out here. Maybe Kuhn will come in. Yep.
And in a game like this, you don't love to see your players getting hurt in the final minutes, of course. We've already had Tom Cassani in this one, and now Danny Galligan headed to the bench.
Here's Kuhn. He's back in by force. Minute 12. Ooh, nice find across to Dorina. Kuhn with a fake pass. Schultz to Dorina. Puts it up. Shot good. Dorina with his first points at home as a Metuchen Bulldog, at least at the high school. We'll step aside for now. There's a stoppage. You're watching the Bulldog Report. Minute left in this one. Clock winding down on another Metuchen loss. Poked off by Cone. He'll give Metuchen a chance on offense. That didn't last long. 48 ticks left. Ooh. Soccer over down under the net. And who's that? Dorina trying to fight for it. I think it's going to be Metuchen's ball thanks to a jump ball. Or was it a foul?
And we've seen this a bunch of times here for Metuchen basketball. They've played well, but the result just didn't go their way. And a 25, 26-point loss here is not going to look good, but I don't think the stat sheet shows all of the numbers here. Obviously, Danny Kuhn getting involved today, getting the starting minutes. And Marcus Malamug, of course, been a rock for this team, as well as Max Cone. Jason Woods getting some time. It's good for the future of this team to finish out the season, and especially in the years to come.
Yeah, and these are the players that are going to be most trusted next year. And late in these games, I've said it a few times. But it's been all, youngsters. Oh, wow, who just swooped in? Sorry. That was a pretty sick play. Cone using his speed to swat it out. But it's been really late in the games when Metuchen's losing in games like these. They turn to their younger players, their underclassmen, their juniors, who next year will form the starting lineup. And yeah, so that's something I think Cardillo is doing tactically. Dorina with a chance for his 3rd and 4th points of the night. That explains the night pretty perfectly. 5 seconds left, and that is it. Final score in this one, 68-42 in favor of Timothy Christian. One-sided matchup. Metuchen, they struggled they struggled scoring points from the start in this one. Points have been a main issue for them.
It certainly has, and it started on defense more than offense. I think their offense has looked okay, just getting some unlucky bounces so far. But on defense, sort of establishing rebounds and getting out of these fouls is going to be the issue that Cardillo should work with headed into the next week. Well,
next week, Metuchen's got some bigger games. No more home games this week, so we won't be calling any of these. There will be a girls' home game Friday, which we might be in the booth for. But for now, that does it from here. Final score 68-42. Metuchen looking ahead at some bigger games, and they're kind of coming to the end of the season. They want to finish out strong, like we've said. They've got a lot of work to do at practice to try to break out of the slump that they're in currently. But that's it from the studio here. The Bulldog Report saying good night, and we'll see you Friday. Yeah, that was the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush and Jared Popek signing off.